Hello, this is D-Day, the decision to go on June 6th. I'm Cannon Hallworth in the Junior Individual Performance. Oh, hello there. I was wondering when you'd get here. They said you'd be coming. Well, I'm Sergeant Kilroy. I'm supposed to watch the store and only let in visitors like yourself who have the right security clearance. I assume you're bigoted. Oh, that is that you have security clearance above top secret. But of course you do. How else would you get this close to the Commander-in-Chief of Operation Overlord? Well, welcome to Southwark House, the command center of SHAFE, the supreme headquarters of the Allied Expeditionary Force. As those raised voices might suggest, the meeting's already begun, but let me fill you in. Yesterday, on the 4th, the plane invasion had to be called off because of the weather. Right now, Eisenhower's trying to make that decision once more with the other commanders of SHAFE. Come on in, you're right in time for Eisenhower's briefing. Gentlemen, we've been preparing for months. Every port on the east coast of England is filled to bursting with men, munitions, and machines loaded onto ships and ready to set off across the English Channel at a moment's notice. Well, you're all familiar with our plan, but let me fill you in. We'll be going in on multiple beaches. The Americans on Utah and Omaha, the British on Gould and Sword, and the Canadians on Juneau. Now, there are many different types of landing craft that will be bringing the men to the beach. However, gentlemen, the first one will be this, the Higgins boat. Now, it will put the men on the beach, the first wave. But, gentlemen, these craft are very difficult to operate in heavy seas, which is the issue with the storm that is battering this house as we speak. So here's the question, gentlemen. Do we send those men into Hitler's fortress Europe? The next man to speak is probably going to be Air Chief Marshal Mallory of the Royal Air Force. Now, he's the Commander-in-Chief of the Allied Expeditionary Air Force for Overlord, and seems to be in favor of postponing the invasion. We must not carry out the airborne operation. Dense cloud cover and heavy rain would cause our planes to miss their drop zones. Their bombs wouldn't fall on the targets. Now, these bombers should be dropping their payloads and their paratroopers up to 30 miles inland, and those paratroopers would be capturing cities like Saint-Mary-Église and Caen, and bridges like Pegasus. Now, if we were to go on with this operation underneath these conditions, I can expect about 70% glider losses. That would mean about half of our elite troops would be dead before they hit the ground. A futile slaughter of our best trained, best equipped soldiers. Why should we put our soldiers into a situation in which they cannot even fight? Now, the next man walking into the room is Group Captain Stagg of the RAF. He's the chief meteorologist for SHAFE. He's a gloomy Scot, but he's said to be very reliable. He probably has our most updated weather report. Let's hear what he has to say. Gentlemen, I have a weather report. May be greeted with more enthusiasm than the last. We can expect a break in the weather tomorrow morning. It'll be clear for a number of hours, but we can't be sure for how long. Good day to you, gentlemen. Now that is the best weather news we've had in 5 days. Though Lee Mallory doesn't seem to be convinced. He's always seemed too cautious, in my opinion. Of course, to him, I must seem quite brash. Skies are still not clear enough for our bombers. Dense cloud cover and those heavy fogs would still cause our planes to not be able to drop their payloads and paratroopers on target. I would say we postpone to the day of June 19th. The tides will be in our favor by then, and we can expect the storm to have cleared. We cannot send our best equipped, best trained soldiers into a situation in which they cannot even fight. Now, Eisenhower's asking the opinions of other men in the room. Lieutenant General Smith is Eisenhower's chief of staff. Air Chief Marshal Tedder of the RAF, he's Eisenhower's deputy. And Field Marshal Monsey Montgomery is the highest ranking British Army officer in Overlord. Looks like Smith's speaking up first. Gentlemen, those men have been on those boats for 48 hours now. They were loaded up 12 hours prior to the planned invasion on the 4th, and when it was called off, they were left sitting in their boats. And to take them off would room around. They've been training for half a year for this. They're ready to go. It's a hell of a gamble, sir, but it's the best possible gamble. How do you see it, Tedder? Well, I find it rather chancy. Dense cloud cover and heavy rain would cause our planes to miss their drop zones, and our paratroopers wouldn't find their targets. We postponed yesterday because we didn't have our superiority, and as that seems to be the case once more, I would say postpone. How do you see it, Monty? Well, conditions were not perfect in North Africa. Conditions were not perfect in Sicily, and yet we brought them both off. My men are ready. Give me a chance and I'll take Khan in 5 days. I would say go. The question, gentlemen, is just how long you can hang this operation on the end of a limb and let it hang there. It's a miracle our real plans haven't been discovered so far. Our decoy operations have worked, but if the Germans were to discover our plan, they could go and reinforce their landing beaches and send us right back into the water when we come out. Or they could send their Ian U-boats to come and sink our ships, which are currently stacked up in our ports like chickens in a coop waiting for a fox. I'm quite positive that the order must be given. Okay? We'll go. Gentlemen, I have an order of the day I'd like to give to all the men before they ship off the English Channel. I'll give you a little bit of a read. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade towards which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people will everywhere march with you. Good luck, and we beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. Oh, it's you again. You want to know how the invasions have gone? It's June 7th. Gosh darn it, haven't you heard? It's been all over the radio. Well, the invasions appear to have been a success. The airborne troops are able to capture the beachheads, and the men are making their way off the beaches right now. Fighting was rough, and we lost a lot of men, especially on Omaha. But we've been able to secure a foothold to propel our advances into Europe. Weather held favorably through the day of the 6th, but the storms kicked right back up again, so it was sure good we went when we did. Now, as I was cleaning up papers here in the library of Southwark House where the decision was made, I came across an odd piece of writing. It seems to be in Eisenhower's handwriting. It reads, "In case of failure," it says that our landings on the Cherbourg-Havre region have failed to gain a satisfactory foothold, and I have withdrawn the troops. The air, the Navy, and the men did all that bravery and devotion to duty could do. If any blame attaches to this attempt, it is mine and mine alone. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Now, what an amazing man, Eisenhower. He'll end up leading this attack. It'll be a turning point of World War II. It'll force the Germans to withdraw out of France and Normandy, and in less than a year, the Allied flags will fly above Berlin. But what an amazing man, Eisenhower. He's really my hero. Heck, he could even be president someday.